set the mood like that there, dude. What you remember about that song? That's the same song y'all
Man,
had?
yeah, that ain't changed. Boy, that's been there for years,
When you hear
man.
that song, what you think?
Hey,
What you
man. I was running through
for real?
them paper targets, man. You know, they had them old little props you run through. They be taped up in little banners, man. Them cheerleaders be done put together, man. We just run through that paper, man, and man, it was nice.
It
We
was
had a good
on.
time, man.
Right.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Seemed like it was just like yesterday,
For
man.
real.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. Yo. I go by the name of TMF Stevie, man. I want to introduce y'all, man, to another episode of the Underground Ghost Show, man. Y'all know what it is. So, got a special guest, man. Appreciate him for tapping in with me, man. Desmond Garcia.
What's going on, man?
What's good, man? You all right?
I'm good. It's been a minute.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for stopping by, man, and tapping in with me, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This was nice. This was nice, man. So I like to start each one of them off, man, with a question, man. I like to ask people, man, like looking back on hindsight, your life, your journey. If you had to describe it in one word, what would that word be?
That's a good question, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Let me see.
plan.
Man,
Man,
I could just say it. Yeah, I'll just say, man, it was. You couldn't have. It was unpredictable, man. Like I said, I never thought I would have went to Arkansas, man, to play ball in the SEC.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody could have. 5 years before that, man, you never could have even just
For real.
paid me to believe, hey, man, you going to Arkansas to play football.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you from Lufkin. Let's for the people, you know what I'm saying, that's tapping in that maybe we never know. So you from Lufkin, Texas.
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yes,
in
sir.
Lufkin. Okay, like what's your earliest memory of like sports in your life? Like if you just had to think about it, like what's your earliest memory of sports being introduced to you?
Man, sports was first introduced to me, man. We had my mom had married my stepfather, and we had moved to Fort Worth, man. And I spent about I say about 4 or 5 years in Fort Worth, man. And we lived in Everman, a little suburb of Fort Worth called Everman, man. And we played. That's when I was introduced to tackle football.
Really?
Yeah. Then I played a year or so there, and then we moved back here. And at the time, Lufkin didn't have tackle football for younger. Pee Wee. It was all flag football, man. Okay. So then we had some epic battles over at Morris Frank, man. We played on the Rams. It was Mr. Elroy Gregory was the coach.
Yeah.
Shanto and Quincy and Courtney was the quarterback, and I was a receiver. So those are some of my earliest memories of being introduced.
And y'all were playing at Morris Frank.
Morris Frank flag football, man. I mean, it was. I mean, we took it serious, man. We was out there going at it. But yeah, that's when I was some of my earliest, fondest memories of being introduced.
Okay, now I ain't gonna skip forward too much, but I do want to ask about other sports at the young age, though. I know football. I know later on track and stuff like that, but like at those ages, were y'all playing like little league basketball? Was it other sports involved?
Yeah, we had some little league basketball. I never played baseball. I wish I would have tried it.
Right.
But yeah, man, it was mainly city league basketball and city league football.
Okay.
We didn't have too many options coming out of Lufkin, but we made the best of it when we did get a chance to play.
Okay. I heard you mention your step-pop and you say Mr. Gregory, but who were some of the people early on that might have pushed you that you probably want to, maybe you haven't never gave kudos to him, or who was somebody that maybe pushed you far, like role model, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you can remember.
Man, like I said, Mr. Elroy Gregory, one of the coaches that really played just played a big part in my high school football career was Coach O'Quinn, Kyle O'Quinn. Okay. He was really pivotal, man. He seemed like he really, he took out a lot of time away from the school to really invest in us boys, and he even went with my parents on my visit, man, to Arkansas. Wow. I flew down on the plane, and he rode with my mom and all them and all them on the.
That's missing. You don't really see that. You know that's crazy that you say that. A lot of these kids these days, like one of the things that I wanted to do on here early on the show, because it's like I definitely want to touch on some of these youngsters. I want to talk to some of these youngsters, but early on, talking to some of the guys that seasoned, I'm gonna say, it's like these kids these days. It's a reason that recruiting period open up. These coaches make a way to come through East Texas, and some of y'all like all these kids know is a paved road. They think that's expected, but y'all boys paved that road, man. It wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? And then you see parents on these trips. I'm glad these kids going on visits. I'm not hating, but I'm saying you don't never see the high school coach or the high school position coach with these kids on these visits nowadays. You see the mom and you know what I mean? The family, that's cool, but that's crazy that he rolled down with the family.
Yeah, man. You know, we're in a different time. Everything's on media, on the phone now, man, and they're reaching out through Huddle apps and Twitter and Instagram, man. Crazy. You can reach so many people from just a FaceTime and just being in the house. I mean, you can just hit a button and, you know, you reaching so many demographics of people. But, yeah, man, O'Quinn was one of the ones, man, that he didn't have to do it. But
shout out to O'Quinn.
Rest in peace, man, Kyle O'Quinn, man. But, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was big time.
Okay. Now you was part of this historic, two middle schools type of atmosphere that they had in such a small town. I think that's what, because it's in the city it's buku middle school, but in Lufkin they had the infamous East and West, man, that you was a part of, man. Let's touch on that. You went to East or you went to West?
Oh man, I went to West, man.
You went to West, okay.
Yeah, man. West Coast, man. West was the best, East was the least, man. Hey, boy, we used to, we honestly did not like each other back in the day, man.
That's crazy.
But it was kind of like, I remember our 9th grade year before we come together, because 8th and 9th grade was junior high.
Right.
We had a scrimmage, man, and it got so bad, man. They had Coach Guzman had to call us together at the end of the scrimmage. After about 4 or 5 fights broke out. They were like, hey, man, y'all going to be teammates next year, man. Y'all got to squash this, man. Right. So, yeah, man, it was good times, though, man. Yeah, we had a good time, man. And it created that competitive nature in us, man. And, we hated to lose, both of us. East and West, you hated to lose back then, man. Right. We took it personal. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's
I think nowadays, a lot of kids, it's more fun for them than anything.
Yeah, right.
They lose, they don't, they ready to go party after the game, man. We mad. We didn't want to do anything. Right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, there was some good times.
What's some memories of them days, man? Maybe some battles, some guys, positions.
Oh man,
what stands out when you hear East and West and those rivalries and those teams or the West teams? What you think of, man? Who are some of the players you think of?
Man, we had Marcus Jones, man, and we had Courtney Garcia, Kenneth LaRue. Kenneth was a heck of an athlete, man.
I hear that a lot, bro.
Michael White, man, he was a headhunter, man. Tim Spencer. Yeah. Man, he was a man-child, man. He was probably 260 back then, and he was clogging up, taking on triple teams, man. And man, I remember when 9th grade, they would split us up some. We had an A and B team, and I remember 9th grade, they sent the sophomore team over there. That was like the JV varsity, high school team. We beat them, man.
Yeah.
Kids and them was on there. Don't tell them I said that, man. But, man, we had a good time, man. But, yeah, man, and on the east side, man, you had Curtis Murphy, Jerry McLeod.
Yeah.
Man, they had some headhunters. Larry Wilder Red. They had some boys over there too, man. That was eating. So
I talked to someone earlier that had said it's like the East and West when y'all got together to play it was like an all-star team, because it was, it was guys that they was the guy on the East, y'all was the guy on the West. Then once y'all got together, it was kind of like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, man. And that was, for the longest, that was one of the biggest advantages Lufkin had, man, because a lot of these schools, they had multiple high schools, so a lot of the talent was split up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
was watered down because we all went to the same high school. Uh-huh. But then, you take a town of 36,000 versus Houston with, so many millions.
Right.
I mean,
right.
They have more in their senior class than we have in our whole high school. Graduate some of them schools. I think Katy had, 14 high schools now, if not more. They don't even leave. They stay in the same. They play all their games in Katy, I think. They don't even have to lead.
Come on, man.
But yeah, man. We had some heat, man. We had some talent.
So when all the heat got together and y'all did go to plan, so 8th and 9th grade was considered middle school. So y'all wasn't at the high school till 10th grade back then. So some of the boys that came later on that was able to play varsity as freshmen, y'all didn't have that luxury.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right.
What grade did you like? Y'all got a historic class. We'll get to that later. But most of those guys, when did y'all play varsity? 10th grade.
Yeah, 10th grade.
So as soon as y'all got to high school, y'all was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of us had to play JV because varsity was stacked too once you got over there, 11th and 12th graders. So some of the guys moved up. I think Michael White and
I hear his name a lot.
Yeah, Tim Spencer. He was a beast, so they moved him up. And remember Courtney, his 10th grade year, they brought him in to beat Longview. Remember on that they beat Longview 10th grade year. But yeah, man. It wasn't like any other school, where 9th grade is already on the 19, 11, 12. We just spent 3 years over at the high school. Okay. But
how was the game when y'all did start it? Y'all got in y'all groove, like you say, Courtney 9th grade when y'all got to play. How was it? Was the playoffs the win? I know earlier off camera we was talking about John Tyler, the team being ranked all in the same district. Let's speak on that for the people.
Yeah, man.
You said John Tyler was ranked.
Yeah,
only 2 teams win. That's what.
Yeah, back then only 2 teams out of each district made it to the playoffs. Man, it wasn't like the 4-team format now. If I'm not mistaken, it was our senior year. John Tyler was number 1, Longview was number 3, and we were number 5, and we were all in the same district, man. And man,
come on,
we were just. I mean, it was tough, man. Yeah. It was you had Fred Talley out of Longview, and John Tyler had I forgot old big boy name, David Warren. He was a big old boy, ran like a 10-3, he was 260 pounds. He lineman, man. You had some heat, man. And then you can't count out Marshall. Marshall had some boys.
Oh, yeah?
Even Jasper back in the day used to have some heat. We used to have some battles with them, man. Everybody was, I mean, they was cut from a different kind of cloth, man. I mean, any given night, man, you couldn't take nobody for granted, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Tyler Lee had some boys. Joffrey Reynolds out of Tyler Lee, he was nice. He got all kind of records over in Canadian League. He went to U of H, Joffrey Reynolds. He was a big old boy, man. He was nice.
Right.
Yeah, so.
We talked about accountability, and we talked about coaches. So, like, coaching experience from those days. I know a lot of y'all talk about Guzman, and Guzman had a lot of respect from the East and West days, so it came over for later on. But, like you say, the accountability that y'all had with each other.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean,
that's different, bro.
Yeah, back then, man, it was. The coaches, it was hard-nosed coaching. You had the young quick back then, grab your face mask and yank you, He's a lot more mellow nowadays, he's older, but, man, like I was saying, of course you didn't want to disappoint the coaches. But we had our crew, between me, Marcus Jones, and Jerry McLeod, and Courtney Garcia, man, we all kind of held each other accountable. You knew if you made a bad play, man, you gonna hear it when you came back to that sideline. Right. You know what I'm saying? They were gonna hold it over your head. They were gonna let you forget. But man, it was all out of fun, man. We had fun, and it made you have thick skin. I mean, we wasn't soft. You know what I'm saying? So
couldn't be.
Yeah, you had to take coaching, man, and even coming from a small town, man. If you didn't do good, best believe you go in the E.L. Brown barbershop, they going to be talking about it. You go hear it. Yeah. They going to say, hey, you go hear it, man. So, don't think just because, you think that's the end, because it's away from everybody was talking, man, because it's a small town, man. The town was shut down on Fridays, man, So, you talking about some of the best traveling fans.
Yeah.
Those games out of town. I remember them games when Javorski and them and South Lake Carroll battles at Baylor, man. You see nothing but purple and gold going down. I mean, they would shut school down early. Yes. Everybody knew Lufkin fans traveled, man. And then, not to mention, if you're getting pretty deep in the playoffs, you probably have Diaball coming. You got NAC fans coming. They all supported one another. You know what I'm saying? So, that's good times, though, man.
Yeah, those were good times.
Yeah.
Okay, so high school playoffs and things like that, where y'all experienced, because when it came to signing time, it says that y'all should have won games. So what was I know the 2-team district kind of got on y'all a couple times.
Yeah, man. Well,
but what I was saying was like the next question, when did you get introduced to recruiting? Was it because these long, like you talking about Javorski and them, they having these long playoff runs? And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Schools and attention come that way.
Yeah.
With the district being the way it was back then, only 2 teams make it. You got a team that's, like you say, 7-3, whatever, on the outside looking in because of the way the district set up and only 2 teams go. So how did recruiting come about back then?
Man, recruiting back then, like I say, it wasn't nothing like now as far as with the huddle and Instagram and Twitter and see how many offers you can get. And, you know what I'm saying? It was more, man, you got a VHS tape, bro, and you sending they mailing it off.
Right.
Yeah, and some of that in a package with the little pop, little plastic pouches in it. Yeah, so you'll mess, that's how it was, man.
Wow.
Shout out to O'Quinn, man. He was in there getting our highlight films together. Talking about, Dez, I got a highlight film together and mailing them off for us, man.
Man, that's big.
And I got hooked up with Arkansas. Football, man. I played because my boys played. It wasn't always my favorite sport. I mean, it was fun. I played because my boys played, but track was my main thing. That I really excelled in. But
that I excelled. You went to Arkansas, the SEC.
Hey man,
the Underground Ghost Show, man. It's a lot of boys that win and play, and I don't care how many snaps, I don't care how many whatever practices. You experience the practice at that level, bro. You a goat to me. You a goat where we from. You can't go to no grandma's house, your auntie house, and see them pictures of Kansas State and all these
North
crazy
Carolina,
places.
Texas.
Yeah, man, you a goat, bro.
Yeah, I feel
you know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of wanted to do. I created this platform for that, because I'm genuinely interested in the recruiting part. I like that type of stuff. But like some of y'all that went and did some of that, like even visits. What was your, you know what I mean? Like visits, who was recruiting y'all? Like, what was your first letter? Who got?
Man, my first letter, man. After we had beat John Tyler, man. McNeese State was in town to play SFA. Yeah. So they come over to the game. Yeah. They come down the night before, so they come to the game on that Friday. And I think I had one big long pass for a touchdown, like a 50-something yard bomb, man. They was ranked number 1 at the time. Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, man, that was they saw me. They said, "Hey, man, we want that kid."
Right.
And so, man, and that was my first offer, man. I really didn't have a lot of offers, but back to what I was saying, man. O'Quinn, he would send off our highlight films or whatnot, and he had a good friend that was a receiver coach at Arkansas that he had grew up with, and I think he might have went to college with Coach Hill. And he told him about me. And Coach Hill come down on a visit, and come down to visit the school one day and talk to me. And man, it just took off from there, man. So it was more of it's not about it was really about who you know at that time. That's how my situation was. I was in the right place at the right time. And O'Quinn, he spoke on my behalf, and I had decent grades, and I had speed. That was the main thing. If you had a lot of kids come out of Lufkin, man, had the athletic ability, man.
They don't know.
And I ain't trying to throw no shade, but a lot of cats just didn't have the grades, man.
Yeah.
So
they didn't know.
Yeah,
understanding,
or the support, at home or support system or whatnot.
I guarantee you, like in that time, I know the talent was crazy, but that's something that need to be taught about from middle school, whatever. I think before you go to 9th grade. The same way that rookie seminar happened in the NFL, I think you should talk to those kids, especially the group, that talented handful of group, and let them know how the GPA works. From your 9th grade year to your senior year, they're going to combine your GPA and come up with a number. And depending on that number, that's going to determine your eligibility.
Most definitely.
That's why you see some guys who, they knuckleheads 9th, 10th grade, they not really thinking about Division I football or basketball or whatever, and then you become a senior and you taking a class that you took in 9th grade that you made a D, you retaking it to make an A to raise that GPA so you can make less on that ACT or SAT.
The higher the GPA, the lower you can score on the SAT.
Nobody not telling these kids that.
Yeah, you right, man. What I'm saying? You right.
Because you don't care about them at that early age when they ain't catching them bomb passes. When he start later on, and that pressure on you as a coach he should be going to school, so you feel that pressure. Yeah. And then you start like, well, we need to clean up some of these grades. Yeah. Should have been cleaned up.
Yeah.
But he ain't know
that. When you get that letter from Oklahoma, they're like, oh, man, then
how I'm going to get there?
I got to try to get these grades up. Yeah, I feel you, man.
Rat race like, bro, how I'm going to get to put my name on this letter. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy though.
But yeah, man, it's just man, you know, and I think back, man, those practices, man, they were intense, man, and we was having fun at the time. But you think back about all those guys that was on the field at one time, man. Like you got Terrence Kill. He was a beast, man. He was year behind us. Rest in peace. Yes, man. He was awesome, bro. I mean, you look at Brian Gilmore, man. Went to Midwestern State, played maybe I think about 8-9 years in the NFL. He was a receiver. Started, man. Opposite David Boston. Man, you looking at who else, man?
That's crazy.
Jacoby Shepard, Jason Alford. I mean, we all on the field at the same time, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's crazy.
And then, you know, our senior year, then you had Lee Brandon Shepard coming in as a sophomore, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was a beast. Sparky Hamilton. You know, I mean, it was just so much talent, bro. And it was just a melting pot of talent, man. You know, and that's just in our generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can go back to the Dunbar days, you know, and I'm just now starting to hear more about some stuff that I didn't know about with Dunbar, man, and
it's been
Ken
like
Houston and all them boys, man. You know what I'm saying?
It really been like that, right? That's crazy. Like people don't understand. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
The list of people is ridiculous. Like trying to put the list together, people that I want to talk to, I want to get a chance. The list is, bro. The list
Infinite,
crazy,
bro. It's crazy.
The list crazy,
and it makes you wonder. That's just in Lufkin. Let's talk about Longview and Marshall and those other smaller East Texas period, Beast Texas they call it. You know what I'm saying?
Reason, man, for real.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
For real, that's crazy. And y'all didn't have no kind of 7-on-7. I mean, you went to Arkansas, but if you Arkansas, I'm pretty sure like McNeese, you had the grades to go other places. You wanted to challenge yourself. You wanted to play at a high level. Or what was that like?
Man, like I said, man, I'm just a country boy from Lufkin, man. I had never been exposed to much. You know what I'm saying? So when they land that school plane down at Burke Regional Airport, and my boy Miguel McKay stepping off, and he got a suitcase with a grease spot in the bottom of it with a slab of ribs that he done brought from Arkansas. And he getting off to go on a visit to Texas, and I'm getting on to go to Arkansas. They didn't have to tell me nothing, man. When I got there and saw the stadium and the facilities, I was like, oh, I'm here.
Bro.
I mean, it was no brainer. McNeese or Arkansas, bro. The facilities, you couldn't even compare them. You know what I'm saying? And Arkansas is one of those schools, man. It's not really much in Fayetteville. So the facilities got to be really nice, man, to get those recruits in.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got people like Walmart, Bentonville is like maybe 30 miles from Fayetteville. So the dorm we lived in is called Sam Walton Hall. It was named after Sam Walton. So they donate a lot of money to the university. So man, I mean, the facilities, even since I've been gone, they've remodeled the stadium, I think twice. It's world class, man. But yeah, man, I was just in awe when I got there, man. So I was like, hey, man, where I need to sign. You know what I'm saying? At that point, man, it was, you know, you really don't have
That's the only visit you went on?
I went on McNeese State and there. The only thing that SFA offered me. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I played.
But where did you get the confidence from, though? Because you played early on because your boys played, your circle of partners. Y'all played, y'all holding each other accountable. That's all fine. But when you're talking about going off to school, it's a little bit different when you by yourself. So you had to have that confidence. When did you feel like I could play at that level? Like I'm one of them ones. I know you kind of pretty humble guy. You don't want to do, you know what I'm saying? But you had to feel a confidence to even put yourself in that kind of.
Well, yeah, man. When I got there, man, I come in with the freshman group. We had to report early, and you know, you run. They test you and everything. You have to go. They weigh you and everything. You start running. You run your 40. You do your vertical, standing broad jump. You do your bench press. And what I realized, man, in almost all those categories, I was in the top 2 or 3 in all the categories, man. These other kids had all these other accolades, man, and you looking at their stats. Some of these kids, I mean, I'm not trying to knock them, but the competition is different there compared to here because you get a cat over there run for almost 3,000 yards versus that'll never happen in East Texas. So you look at the level of competition. Like I said, I'm not trying to knock them, but I realized at that time I'm in the top of my class coming in as far as on paper anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, I've always, you know, coming out of East Texas, man, confidence was never a thing, man. We were hard, like I said, we were hard on ourselves with each other amongst my friends, even more so than worrying about what the coaches was gonna say. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know,
you always had it, basically.
well, yeah, pretty much,
that
man.
just solidified like
It was, yeah, pretty much, man. And I'm not trying to say I was just felt like I just automatically was gonna play or whatnot, but
hard
I was just glad to be away
easy.
from Lufkin, man, and experience new things, meet new people. I was homesick, man, for about 3 months, bro. It was rough, cause you know they recruit you, man. It's all lovey-dovey. Hey, man, we need you. But then, hey, when you get there, boy, hey, we got you now.
Yeah,
this the real side right here. Like, hey, it's a business. It's a business.
Yeah,
you can have fun, but we paying your weight, your tuition for you to contribute to this team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a business up there, man. But I always had confidence, man. I never felt like I couldn't play at that level. Now, they may have felt a certain way about it, but I never felt that way, man. I never felt like, hey, man. Yeah. I felt like I was supposed to be there, you know, and
it
was a good time, man. Because, I mean, you can't go into that situation, but, hey, man, I ain't supposed to be. You already mentally beat, you know what I'm saying? So
and Coach Hill, knowing the relationship, you know what I'm saying, with Old Quinn is cool, but shout out to you for having them grades together, because there's a couple of people that I've heard stories about from Lufkin that they knew people, and everything worked out right, but it all comes back to you got to have them grades, or none of that's going to happen.
That don't matter.
So, you know, the relationship that he had and, you know, Hill had with Coach Quinn, that was cool, but it still came down to you putting yourself in that position. So, shout out to you for
Well, appreciate that,
for
man.
having that, because that's big.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
That's big right there. A lot of people don't be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So them atmospheres in the stadiums in the SEC though, because I'm you know what I'm saying, go a little personal right now, because right now we could on Saturday morning we gotta watch 2 or 3 TVs to see these young guys play from Lufkin, trying to support these kids.
Man.
They everywhere, right?
Hey, man.
But back in those days, I remember scanning the sideline looking for number 26 in Arkansas. You know what I mean? Looking for the back of a jersey, special teams, and you know what I'm saying? Just trying to. Y'all was some of the first. I ain't gonna say the first, because obviously it was people before that went, but y'all class was special. Man, it was a lot of y'all that went D1 that at that level, Power 5, Power 6 conference.
Yeah,
bro, the stadiums and the notable players. Like, who was some of the memorable moments from those SEC days? Man,
I remember we my freshman year, man.
Alabama.
Man. Look, it's weird because, man, when you're actually in the moment, you take it for granted. You don't realize it. But, man, I remember we played against who was the quarterback? Eli Manning, the Ole Miss, man. I think we went 5-6 overtimes. Deuce McAllister was the running back. Yeah. Man, we played Tennessee, man. My freshman year, I got to travel. I redshirted, but I traveled that game. We in Knoxville, Tennessee, in front of 110,000. That's when we was ranked number 8 in the country, man. And our quarterback, we was winning like a minute and something left, man, in the game. He dropped back, and the center stepped on his foot, and he fumbled the ball, and they got it. Travis Henry scored. Wow. And they went on to win the national championship that year. I think they beat Florida State in the Fiesta Bowl or something like that. But they had Peerless Price and the black quarterback that was there with Peerless Price and them. Martin, was it?
Martin.
T. Martin. Man, Jamal Lewis. He was a beast, bro. You remember Sean Alexander was at Alabama. That's what I'm saying. I was there. I'm seeing all these guys, man. I'm like, every week was a grind, bro. Yeah. Craig Geese was at Kentucky. Tim Crouch was the quarterback there. Wow. Man, who else? The black quarterback from Georgia, Quincy. Played for the Cowboys, Quincy Carter. All these boys, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and then with my freshman year, we made it to the Citrus Bowl. Played in Orlando, Florida, against Tom Brady in Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the year after they won the national championship. I remember they landed the helicopter. It was almost halftime. And a big old helicopter landed outside. We like, man, what's going on? I hear about the fans start screaming and hollering. I look back. It was one way in. You had to walk around behind the visitor team and come around to the home side. Charles Wilson, he done landed playing that one. He come around walking around to the mission side. I mean, he done won the Heisman. I was like, man, look at here, man. But yeah, man, you don't realize when I was in the presence of some
greatness,
man. You didn't realize it, man. Yeah. But it was an experience. It was fun, man. I had a good time. Then, like I say, I went to Arkansas and had my boy Marcus at North Carolina, and you had Jerry. He went to K-State, and then you had Courtney returning punts for Texas.
Come on, man.
We ended up meeting up with them, man, and
oh yeah, I was just about to ask you.
Me and Sparky met up with we played
them.
them. Remember we played them in the 2000 Cotton Bowl.
For real?
Yeah, Major Applewhite tore his ACL against us. That's when they brought in Chris Sims, man, and cause they did an article. It was me and Miguel and me, Sparky, and it was Miguel and Courtney at Texas, man. So that's the East Texas connection, man. We had some fun, man. It seemed like it was just yesterday, though. You know what I'm saying? But man, it was crazy. Yeah.
That need to be like a lot of these younger guys don't know their history, bro. Of that, even they go further back than that. We gonna hopefully on the Underground Coach Show, man, we get a chance to touch on a lot of that. A lot of those guys that's even before y'all time, but y'all class kind of ain't start the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The snowball or the D1 athletes, but y'all had 4 or 5 that signed in
in our class.
Big.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Big,
I want to say it was 3 of us that went Power 5. And then like I said, my boy Jerry, he ended up going to Kansas State. And then I'm talking about the boys before us. I mean, you had the year before us, you had Jacoby Shepard and Jason Alford. He went Jason Alford and Latte. Jacoby Shepard went to Oklahoma State. He was there 4 days. You know what I'm saying? And did his thing. I think he got drafted first pick, second round, if I'm not mistaken. Went to St. Louis.
He went early. He went to TJC. I learned that early. It's a lot. Man, that route is. Man, there's so many others that could have played too. That's what I'm saying.
Man.
It's ridiculous.
Man.
Did you bump into any other people from East Texas? Like, was you there when Fred Taylor was there?
Yeah.
You did?
Fred came up there the year after him and Sparky came together to Arkansas. And Fred was a beast, man, at Arkansas, man. You can pull up some of his highlights now on YouTube. That boy, man. I watched that boy down there in Auburn one year just go crazy. In Tennessee, too, man. Yeah. We were down in Starkville, Mississippi. He done tore his ACL. He's still out there playing, man. He killing them boys. It was about 10 degrees out there, man. And he didn't even know he heard it till after the game. And he out there just eating. And Fred was maybe 190 or 185, 190.
What?
And he was out there. He just ran so hard for a dude his size, man. He was just a natural running back, man.
Yeah.
But he come out of Longview. That's like RB view there, boy. Longview, man. But I'm telling you, man, it was crazy, bro.
Right. How was it? That's wild. How was it to see your? Because speaking of like the visits and stuff, I seen it had to be pretty dope to go on those visits with your son, man.
Oh yeah, it was nice, man.
To see him get to experience that, knowing that you had experience and knowing the feeling that you had when you experienced it. How was that as a dad, bro? It felt great, man. It was rewarding. I was happy for him, man, because I know all the time and the effort he had put in, man, and how much from a little kid, he had idolized his father playing in the NFL, and I was glad I wish the NFL in college. Yeah.
And I was just hoping he would get the chance to experience that. And, he had that traumatic leg injury his junior year, man. He broke his tibia, his shin bone, man.
And still bounced back.
And bounced back, man. Yeah. But, man, I was really proud of him, man. He, and he's still grinding and pushing.
Yeah.
But anytime your kid get a chance to make it out of East Texas, man, and do something and further his education and do what he love to do, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of him.
Right. Julie from Cash Money used to say, man, the song, I don't care if we ball for 3 minutes, at least you got the ball. So
yes, sir.
If you ready to get out of this environment, man, and go see something and then actually be a part of something so big as the SEC, you're a GOAT, bro. I want you to, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. Man, these people, bro, you one of them ones.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
One, man. So, like I said, I appreciate you stopping in. A couple more things before we get out of here. I always ask, man. So, you got recruited as a wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
So in high school, you played.
I played some running back and receiver. Yeah.
Played some running back and receiver. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, last drive, man. You got a game-winning drive, man. We're gonna say you at receiver since that's what you went to Arkansas.
Yeah.
As a receiver.
Yeah.
You got another receiver on the side of you. You got a quarterback that got to drive you down now. and you got a running back.
Yeah.
Now, who you putting your trust in, man?
Oh, man.
Your teammates. I don't care. All 4 years or
You
all
mean
3 years.
out of all
3
Lufkin
years,
players or just anybody from Lufkin?
No.
Oh,
Not
hold
anybody from Lufkin.
Okay.
I don't want to,
Hold up.
They gonna be woo-wee, boy. Look here. They ain't gonna get too opinionated.
You just saying
on that.
okay.
All of your teammates.
Okay, all right.
That you share the field. And listen, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna do the LP, and then I want to go back to the West days.
Okay.
Tape. You know what I'm saying? But if it had to be a quarterback,
Yeah.
another wide receiver on the side of you, and a running back. This is the game-winning drive.
Yeah.
Who you confident in? Who out there
most
with you? Who
definitely,
you putting in the?
Oh,
who you going to war with?
We're going with Courtney Garcia, Sparky Hamilton, and Patrick Williams, man.
Patrick Williams.
Dink was a beast, man.
Williams.
He would run that ball, man.
Yeah.
But can't take nothing away from my boy Williams too. Tavis was a beast. Remember that year they had both of them went over 1,000 yards, man.
That's what I say. Okay, now the West team. Who supreme confidence in this group to get it done?
Ah, man, let me see here, man.
It was
who was the receivers? It was
Dink was y'all running back.
No, Dink was a year behind us, so he went to East.
Oh, okay.
So who was the running back, man? I played some running back. Might have been me a running back then. Yeah.
Well, who the two receivers? And Courtney still quarterback?
Courtney was
just
quarterback.
Give me some. I just like these names.
Who played some receiver? Kenneth LaRue was a receiver and played some safety too. I'm trying to think who else was out there, man.
No.
I can't even think who the other receiver was. Michael White, I think might have played a little receiver.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm telling you, we it was that they ain't planted that seed to be competitive alone back then. We was pushing, we were playing for wins, boy. We wanted them wins back then, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's dope.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was a tough one there, man.
That was good. And the last one, before I asked that though, like, you know, any final anything you wanna say about the journey? Because like I'm big on the journey.
Yeah.
Because everybody's story different, bro, and I respect everybody's story, and I think a lot of y'all got a unique story because it's different households. Some of them, you know, the poverty-stricken environments, the things that some of them had to go through that would have been in a situation where Oak Quinn knew somebody at Arkansas, but they ain't had a grade. I know we know a lot of them. And you got the Arkansas, and you know, like, oh, this such and such could have played here. Such and such could play, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like some of these kids be the first ones to graduate high school in their family, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how you expect them to just have it all figured out and just go do it? Like, it's tough.
Yeah,
bro.
and here's the thing, cuz. No knock to anybody that goes JUCO. Sometimes that's the best route, man. You know what I'm saying?
Best route. It be the roughest because some of them guys know they should be playing at Tennessee.
But at the same time, the mental aspect of it. Some guys, look, man, when I got to Arkansas, them classes were tough, man. You in a room with about 40 people, man. And they don't know you by your name.
Come on.
Hey, the GA teaching the class, the professor he ain't even hardly there. And you take a test and you get your grades by your student ID number plastered up on the sheet, and you trying to see if you pass like this. So I mean, it was rough, man. So sometimes I think the JUCO route has its benefits. You in smaller classes, more personal settings. You know what I'm saying? And it gives you 2 years to mature. You know what I'm saying? Man. And develop as a player. Versus you go to that D1, you go to that D1 Power 5, you may get one shot. And after that, hey, on to the next one.
Come on. Man.
Whereas JUCO, you got time to kind of develop. You know what I'm saying? So I don't knock nobody to go JUCO. Sometimes I think people choose to go JUCO. You know what I'm saying? You look at Cam Newton, man. That boy went blend. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, man, no knock on them, but yeah, man, the journey. Like I said, it was so fast, man. And I can only imagine how it would have been if we would have had the type of technology like they have now, man. You know what I'm saying? These these cats got 30 and 40 offers, man.
Come on, man.
And you look
how many people see you, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Man, come on. Man. You know how many VHS tapes I would have had to send out?
Come on, man.
And shout out, hey, man, these youngsters now, though, man, I'm still a fan of the game. And to be around a kid before he made it, you know, when he was young, and to see this boy shining on TV that boy Jalen Polk up at Washington Huskies, man, showing out.
Man.
I seen that young man up one night, man, had 3 touchdowns against Michigan State. He done that a few times,
Come
I
on,
think.
man.
Yeah.
That was
I'm like, and then you see Boone out there showing out. Malik Jackson up there. I seen that boy score a touchdown against Alabama not too long ago. Man, out there just balling. Man, it makes me feel good to see them boys out there. Braylon out there doing it. You know, he was doing this thing. Man, so man, it just makes you feel good to know that, man. You know that they're taking full advantage of the situation, and they're not taking it for granted.
Yep.
And man, I try to tell anybody out there, Steve, man, look, regardless of your situation or your upbringing, how many people in your household, or where your address may be, man, if you do it the right way, keep your head down, get those grades, be coachable, be respectful, you know, try not to get that reputation, you know, that you know what I'm saying, get nothing on you that'll stain your image. You can make it, man. You know, everybody's situation is different. But man, you can't tell me, bro. I mean, you know, I see Dez all the time, you know, praising God for, you know, everything he had, man. I know that boy, you know, he had it a rough upbringing. You know, it was rough for him coming out of Lufkin, and he made it. So, man, you
possible.
know, wow, yeah, man.
Facts.
You might not make it to the NFL, man, but you have a chance to better your situation, get you a degree, and be the first to graduate from college and change your, you know what I'm saying? Change your, you know.
Especially to me, man. That's why, like I say, this platform, bro, like, you know, it's a lot of them. You don't got to shake Roger Goodell's hand to be considered a GOAT to me, bro. Because I know the situation that boys come from.
Oh,
and so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you got addicts and you got alcoholics, bro. Believe it or not, they'll forget. I ain't going to say they'll forget, but they'll put their habit to the side for 2 hours on Friday night so they can go watch y'all play, bro. And that's power.
Yeah.
To make an addict forget he was an addict for 2 hours because he got to go back that pack.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, y'all, that's power right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, like, you can't tell me that y'all not GOATs in y'all family eyes, y'all people eyes, where y'all from and everything like that. So the last thing before I get out of here, man, I just got one question, bro. If you had to, you could lace them up one more time. Just you could do it one more time. Would you pick a Friday Night Lights or that Saturday SEC football? If you could just play one more game, which would it be?
I can play with my boys.
Man, you could play with your boys.
Oh, man, we're going to do them Friday Night Lights one more again, man, because that's where it all started. You know what I'm saying? That's where it started.
That's what's up.
Man. But, yeah, man. Hey, man, it's been fun, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Hey.
That's been another episode, man.
Yes,
Underground Go Show.
I appreciate you for having me.
Keep it live, man. Hey, like, share, subscribe, all that, man. You don't want to miss these episodes, man. So keep it locked.